It took Hansie Cronje a decade to become one of cricket's most respected captains. A single confession destroyed him. A lifetime ban followed. At Lord's, 10 years later, 2 deliberate no-balls sent 3 Pakistani internationals to prison. From covert fixing to tampering caught on live broadcast, careers built over years have been ruined in seconds. What drives an elite player to gamble everything on one moment of corruption? Hansie Cronje stood before the King Commission on October 11, 2000. His voice steady, but his eyes hollow. For years, Cronje had been the face of South African cricket, captain, leader, and a symbol of the country's sporting rebirth. But in that Pretoria courtroom, he admitted to accepting money from bookmakers. His testimony revealed secret meetings, coded phone calls, and cash payments exchanged for inside information and subtle match manipulation. The shock rippled far beyond the cricket field. Teammates, fans, and officials listened as Cronje described how temptation first crept in during a tour of India in 1996, and how, over time, he agreed to fix small moments in matches. The King Commission's findings were clear. Cronje's actions had violated the core values of the sport and shattered public trust. On October 30, 2000, the United Cricket Board of South Africa issued a lifetime ban. The wording was direct. Cronje was barred from participation in any capacity in the game of cricket. His career ended not with a final match, but with a document and a verdict. Years of discipline and achievement vanished in an instant, leaving only a cautionary tale. As the first major inquiry of its kind, the King Commission set a precedent, showing that even the most powerful figure in a team could fall, and that the consequences would be absolute. Day 3 at Lord's. 14th over. Mohammad Amir, just 18 years old, overstepped the crease by a conspicuous margin, delivering a no-ball that would later become the linchpin of a criminal case. 2 more deliberate no-balls followed, orchestrated by Amir and his teammate Mohammad Asif, under the captaincy of Salman Butt. Hidden cameras recorded the bookmaker's instructions and the player's agreement. The footage, later broadcast around the world, left little room for doubt. When the evidence surfaced, the International Cricket Council moved quickly, suspending all 3 players. But this time, the fallout extended beyond the boundaries of sport. British prosecutors charged Butt, Asif, and Amir with conspiracy to cheat and accept corrupt payments. The Southwark Crown Court trial drew global attention. On November 3, 2011, the verdicts arrived. Salman Butt received 30 months in prison, Mohammad Asif 12 months, and Mohammad Amir 6 months. Each was banned from cricket, 10 years for Butt, 7 for Asif, and 5 for Amir, with the bans backdated to 2010. The sentences were more than symbolic. For the first time, professional cricketers faced jail for spot fixing. Years of training and promise collapsed in a single afternoon, replaced by public disgrace and legal punishment. The message was unmistakable. In the modern era, the law would not stop at the stadium gates. Mid-May 2013, the Indian Premier League was at its peak, drawing millions of viewers and enormous betting interest. On the night of May 15, 2013, Delhi Police Special Cell officers moved quickly, arresting 3 Rajasthan Royals players, S. Srisanth, Ajit Chandila, and Ankit Chavan, on charges of spot fixing. The operation was the result of weeks of surveillance, phone taps, and undercover work. Officers cited FIR number 20 of 2013, detailing how the players had allegedly agreed to concede runs at pre-arranged moments in exchange for cash from illegal bookmakers. The arrests happened in real time, with officers intercepting players at their hotel rooms and team bus, seizing mobile phones and cash as evidence. Within hours, the Board of Control for Cricket in India issued immediate suspensions. S. Srisanth, a World Cup winner and national team hero, became the public face of the scandal. Footage of him in handcuffs, flanked by police, flooded television screens. By the end of the week, the Delhi police had filed a formal charge sheet outlining the network of calls, coded signals, and cash handovers. The fallout was swift and severe. Contracts were terminated, sponsors pulled out, and the players' reputations collapsed overnight. For S. Srisanth, the ban was indefinite, and his cricketing future vanished in a matter of seconds. The message was clear: no player, no matter how talented or famous, was beyond the reach of the law. March 24, 2018. Newlands, Cape Town. The television broadcast cut to Cameron Bancroft, crouched in the field, his hand slipping a small yellow object from his pocket. Dozens of cameras tracked every move. Within minutes, slow-motion replays circled the globe, showing Bancroft rubbing sandpaper across the ball, and then hiding the evidence down his trousers. The timestamp on the footage left no room for doubt. This was not speculation, but a live broadcast of cheating in progress. By the end of play, the story had already broken wide open. Reporters pressed for answers. That night, Cricket Australia's Ethics Centre began a formal investigation. 3 days later, on March 28th, the board released its findings. The report named Bancroft Captain Steve Smith and Vice Captain David Warner as the architects of the plan. Each admitted to their role in a press conference that stunned the cricket world. Sanctions followed with unprecedented speed and severity. Smith and Warner were banned from international and domestic cricket for 12 months. Bancroft received a 9-month ban. All three lost their leadership roles, contracts, and endorsements within hours of the announcement. The Ethics Centre's report called the act a serious breach of the spirit of cricket. No criminal charges were filed, but the fallout was total. Careers built over decades were undone in seconds, broadcast, documented, and judged in the court of public opinion as much as by any official body. The Sandpapergate scandal showed that, in the age of live television, no act on the field is ever truly private. Suspicion alone does not end a cricket career. The International Cricket Council's Anti-Corruption Unit, established in 2000, operates under a strict charter that defines how evidence is gathered, secured, and evaluated. Once an incident is flagged, whether by an umpire's report, a whistleblower, or surveillance footage, investigators launch a formal inquiry. Every piece of evidence is cataloged, from intercepted phone calls to seized bank records, with chain-of-custody protocols ensuring nothing is tampered with. The ACU often works across borders, relying on mutual legal assistance to obtain documents, conduct interviews, and track financial flows. When the facts meet the threshold set out in Articles 2.1 to 2.5 of the ACU Charter, a formal charge is filed. The process is meticulous, designed to withstand legal scrutiny. In this system, a single video clip or a coded text message, if authenticated, can trigger an immediate suspension and set the wheels of justice in motion. Pressure. In elite cricket is unrelenting. Every mistake is magnified, and every success is chased by expectation. For many young professionals, the rewards seem vast, but the risks are just as real. Up to 60% of players under 25 have little long-term financial security, according to the Federation of International Cricketers Associations. The lure of easy money can be overwhelming when contracts are short and futures are uncertain. Ego also plays its part. A rookie thrown into the spotlight may feel invincible and may be convinced that one shortcut will go unnoticed. Franchise tournaments add another layer, with players shuffled between teams and cultures, often far from home and familiar support. In high-stakes environments, impulse control is tested. Studies show that athletes under extreme stress are more likely to make reckless decisions, gambling on moments that can end their careers in seconds. Behind every scandal is a human calculation, shaped by money, reputation, and the constant threat of being left behind. Cricket's governing bodies have responded to scandal with more than just punishment. After 2019, boards across the world introduced mandatory integrity education for all professional players. By 2022, over 1,700 cricketers had completed e-learning modules designed to teach the warning signs of corruption and the consequences of crossing the line. Integrity workshops now run at the start of every major tournament, spelling out the rules and the risks. Whistleblower hotlines offer a private way for players or staff to report suspicious approaches, free from fear of reprisal. These reforms aim to close the loopholes that once allowed silence and secrecy to thrive. Yet, even with new safeguards, the ethical dilemma remains. Can a system ever fully prevent a split-second decision driven by greed, fear, or desperation? The future of cricket's reputation depends not just on detection and deterrence, but on the choices made by every player who steps onto the field. Even now, cricket's anti-corruption units investigate dozens of suspicious cases each year. The temptation for instant gain never disappears, nor does the risk to the sport's credibility. In every match, the line between legacy and downfall remains razor-thin. Trust, once lost, is never fully restored.